scale back a little bit on the line 16, the 25,500. Those are events associated with Chamber, Triton, Park District, WCMC, PML.
Where would you want to cut?
Just, you know, it's whatever. These are events that we attend. You know, whether it's dinners or maybe we don't buy a table at Triton at their annual thing. Maybe we do, 2 or 4.
Well, here's I'm going to.
I can see not paying the dues, but maybe we don't need such a large presence in some of these other activities, YMCA dinners, things like that.
What I'm going to do is leave these up, to you commissioners, because as you see, I have my signature on those pages. I already accounted for and tried to present, at least for my department, what I believe to be the bare bones minimum. So, I'm not going to cut further. If you folks want to reduce it, then you decide to reduce it, and then I have to live with that. But how can I counter myself? I mean, I've already I did my homework, did my research, and presented to you what I think, is the bare essentials, at least for us. Sir, we could cut it all out. We could easily do that. Take it all out. And then you just, you become a community that doesn't participate.
I'm not comfortable with that.
It's not all or none. We don't need to, frame every argument in that all or none choice. We have choices in between. And I guess this is the it's going to quickly get back to each one department feels like we've done all we can. It's bare bones, but again, we're sitting here with essentially a no surplus, balanced budget, bare bones, and.
Well, we have a more than balanced budget. We do have a surplus right now.
It's a protected surplus.
We can count. Oh yeah. No, I understand that, Commissioner. No matter what we do, wipe out many of these things, you still are going to have. It's all going to be projected. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Or is there some way that we can adopt a guaranteed budget with a surplus?
What I'm suggesting is that we look for ways to cut back on stuff. And we're looking at 2 lines, 16 and 26, that total more than $38,000. And maybe that's something that can be reduced. It's organizational dues and it's community relations. Again, it's something that is it core or is it non-core? Can we function with it, without it, or is it essential to what we do? As commissioners, we interact with officials from neighboring communities. We don't have a line in our budget. We just do it. And maybe some of the same positive results can be achieved without the village incurring these costs.
As I said, I can't argue against myself. I'm the one that prepared this, so I can't argue against myself. If you all want to cut it, let's start with number 16. These are fees associated with various organizations that we're involved with, and Mike Curry, you want to cut it?
No, I don't know what organizations and the line items for each organization. And so I know that number.
Well,
I saw the book, but it doesn't give, say, $5,000 to.
Oh yeah, the individual ones I don't.
So therefore, I'd just be making it truthfully just an ignorant decision without the facts.
It wouldn't be ignorant to save the village money. It wouldn't be ignorant to say let's trim it by $10,000, and priorities could be decided upon later. Community relations gets carried on with $10,000 less we're going to spend, but it still gets carried. Are you opposed to that?
Am I opposed to cutting it at all?
Are you opposed to reducing the amount by $10,000?
That's the problem. I don't know if $10,000 is adequate. We can sit here and pull numbers out of our head. I don't know if that's an adequate number.
Mark, where you at?
I'm not in favor of cutting it, and I need to echo Commissioner Curry. There's 8 or 10 different line items on page 16 with no numbers associated with them. And I will not blindly just say, yeah, take $10,000 off, knowing, not having any idea of how that affects any of these organizations or what goes on here. So no, I'm not in favor of cutting.
You served
It's
for
golf
12
outing.
years.
A couple
you know
golf
what goes on
outings.
with these
It
organizations.
says right there, golf, WCMC golf, PML golf. Should we participate in these
You
golf
can lose the
outings?
tone, Commissioner. You're not better than anybody in the room, so you can stop
I'm not
talking
saying
down to
that,
all
but
4 of
You've been
us.
here for a long time,
I've been here for 10 years. Yes, I have.
and you don't think that this is not important?
I think I said what I said. Don't start questioning me and stop talking down to everybody in the room. You might be the Accounts and Finance Commissioner, but it is not your end-all, be-all budget. It is everybody in this room, Commissioner.
I know, it's everybody's budget, and I'm looking for ways to cut.
Okay? And when somebody says something, you don't come back and go, well, you don't know what it is? You don't know what it is? I'm reading what I'm reading right here. Same thing you have in front of you.
These are absolutely core services as a.
Do you want to give me a breakdown of how you did the revenues? I think that's the biggest problem in this budget. We've cut this thing to the bone. Every one of these department heads has come up with their bare bones minimums that they can run their departments adequately about. Your revenues are not drawn out on this month is projected because this is dropped. We feel that car dealers have done this. You have very random choice of your revenues. I believe we've had this issue 6 months ago when your department projections came out $1.2 million in the hole, and we're coming out with the surplus. So please don't talk down to us when your projections on the revenue side have sucked.
That's a good.
There's not, Commissioner Hoskins is not the one that's lost the quorum at this meeting.
I have now.
I believe that all these organizations that are listed out here on the bottom of this page exist, many of them for the sole purpose of enhancing the core purposes of municipalities. That's why they exist.
They're under a community relations line.
You want to call it something else? How about core community purposes?
Public works is what I consider. Police, fire.
Well,
those
we
things.
certainly can have a difference of opinion on what the word core means. We can run upstairs, get a dictionary, and find out what that word means.